So we're here with Durb Morrison from Rotary Gallery. Gallery?
Yep, Rotary Tattoo Gallery.
And you also run Hell City. So,
yeah.
What is new in your world, Durb?
There's always something new in my world, man. I'm constantly trying to push forward and work on new projects or new ideas. So right now, I mean, pretty much my life is literally, all encompassing between Hell City, True Tubes, Red Tree Tattoo Gallery, and then just personal life stuff too. Try to create my own art at the same time, and have a life while doing all that stuff. And it's not just one festival that I'm doing. We've been doing the two Hell Cities, every year for the last 2-3 years now. We've been doubling them up, so that's put a lot of extra work on my plate. But it's all enjoyable, and at this point, I mean, it's almost 13 years later we've been doing it, so it's kind of the formula we have down, and it runs smoother than ever. And we have a lot of things figured out with organizing the festivals and how to make them function the best, and still keep the focus on the artists, the art form, at the same time while keeping it entertaining as well. We want that too, because we feel that tattooing is an entertaining art form. So we want to kind of do things that encompass the art of tattooing as well with all that.
So is it difficult to keep it fresh, running a convention year after year in two different locations?
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of emails, a lot of just organization and trying to deal with everybody in the right ways. Yeah, with doing the 2 shows a year, it's a lot more work. But like I said, we had the formula down 13 years later, so it makes it a lot easier. But yeah, it's a constant grind with the shows, on top of all the products, on top of trying to personally keep up with my own art and stuff like that. But it's pretty fine-tuned, so we're really confident in everything that we're doing. I think one of the harder things is we do it in Ohio, and then we also take it to Phoenix, Arizona. So transitioning and trying to organize one show from across the country would be, I guess, one of the bigger challenges that I have with it.
I know that your booths pretty much sell out quickly. Is it a hard process deciding who's going to be there and who's not going to be there? And do you have to deal with some political stuff and people being pissed off and not understanding how it works?
Yeah, well, the political side of tattooing, it's nothing new to me. I've been tattooing 25 years now, and I like to say I'm a veteran at doing all this. But yeah, there are politics to it, and I don't want to say I get a lot of hate, but I get a lot of indirect hate that if our booths sell out, I literally, with the venues, you can't even make like a new little corner because they only allow you so much space. So when we do sell out, it's to that point where we get a lot of people following behind others that we've already had to say, sorry, we're sold out. So in that aspect, there are a little bit of, I guess, indirect politics that go on with that. But at the same time, we write everybody back respectfully and let them know it's nothing personal or anything like that. But I don't think you can avoid some of that within any industry that you're doing, whether it's art or any other, business, that you're going to have that, but how you handle that and how you handle it with the artist is really important. We try to still handle that the best and tell them, sorry, we're sold out. Please get with us at this date when we're opening booths back up and stuff. So, but if it's not a convention, it's going to be with something else within tattooing, so, but at this point, we handle it well, and I think everybody understands.
So what are some of the newer things we can expect out in Phoenix?
In Phoenix, we try to, I mean, especially with like doing the 2 shows a year right now, we don't repeat the formula, but we somewhat do. We add new seminars, new artists, new acts, a lot of things like that. The Phoenix show this year, we have more booths than ever. We have actually expanded down some of our side hallways at the shows, so we're actually to encompass up to about 100 booths now for the Phoenix show. Yeah, a lot of things we have going on. We have all new seminars, like Aaron Kane's doing a seminar, which we're really really stoked about. The TattooNOW live interviews on the main stage.
Yours truly.
Yeah, it's right there. Those are a great addition though, because I think some of the senior artists, and I think it's a good chance for them to sit back and watch somebody outside of their natural habitat of tattooing to just speak. So I think that's a great addition.
I've got some really good feedback from artists that were working, because when you're working at a convention, you're just hearing music and random stuff from the stage and you don't really
Yeah.
know what's going on. So when I'm doing an interview, they can just listen to the interview while they're tattooing, and so I've gotten a lot of positive feedback from artists that are working at conventions while I'm doing the interviews.
Yeah, I think it's great. You know, we were bringing back with the shows. We're bringing back the show devils. So with the Enigma, he'll be performing again on the main stage, followed by the Suicide Girls, which are the sexy tattoo girls of tattooing. So
Yeah, I caught their burlesque show in Columbus.
yeah, oh yeah. I made sure I didn't miss that one either. And I'm usually running around like a nutbag, you know, making sure everything's going smooth. I'll get an event going, you know, so I'll be at the main stage when something gets going, and I'll make sure everything's good, and then I'll make my rounds and stop by with the wet paint project to make sure everything's going smooth, or you know, just kind of keep an eye on things while everybody's kind of settled and entertained at the main stage. So we're doing that. The Phoenix show really has a different feel. You know, our Columbus one it's huge. It's the original one that we started, you know, back in 2002, and that's kind of right in the heart of downtown Columbus. It's right on the edge of the Arts District. So that show has a completely different feel. It's the same quality and, you know, focus on the artists and stuff. But the Phoenix show is a lot of fun, and people are realizing that more because we call it a tattoo vacation. It's a very luxurious, you know, resort, as you know.
Oh yeah.
To go to. So it gives people, the Columbus Health City gives people a chance to kind of mingle, have the bar situation, and to be able to go out into town and have dinner at nice places and go look at art galleries, where the Phoenix show gives you a chance to, one, be at a really luxurious resort spa with, you know, a lot of people bringing their families nowadays. Like Jeremiah Barb always brings his family. So we're seeing a lot of artists kind of bring their family as a way to not only, you know, be at the convention, but also have a vacation. People are now staying, you know, 2 to 3 days afterwards just to keep that experience going with their family after the work's done. So there's nice swimming pools there. I think there's like 6 hot tubs, you know, and it's just kind of like, when people go to the Phoenix show, they're like, Durb, you're spoiling us, man. You know, so, and that's what I want to do. I want to, you know, when I'm doing these, I do want it to be a little bit different and kind of, I guess, resonate with people a little bit differently, you know, with their other convention experiences.
Yeah, the pools are great. Like it's hot in Phoenix, but you don't notice because you're either in the conditioned areas or you're in the pool.
Yeah.
And the pools,
oh yeah.
I mean, you're gonna see awesome tattoos, and just the parties in the pools are great.
I
enjoyed myself thoroughly last time I went.
We're like a bunch of little kids at the pool. Like we're, you know, I mean, we're also serious when we're tattooing. You know, the convention it's definitely a serious thing too for, you know, for the artists. But when they go out to the pool, you know, all that stuff aside, we have a blast, and it gives people a chance to really kind of connect in a different way. That's something about Hell City too. Is we've had, I think, five weddings at Hell City.
Really?
So Hell City's brought, I mean, just with the friendly environment and how fun it is for a lot of people, it's brought a lot of people together. It's created a lot of friendships. It's created a lot of relationships, you know, marriages, things like that. So looking back on everything I've done with the conventions, you know, I'm super happy that it's brought a lot of people together. I hope with, you know, the efforts that I've done and trying to change things and give them a little bit of a different flavor. I see other shows kind of like paying attention to what we're doing and incorporating that into their shows. And, you know, at the end of the day, if I do that and it makes a positive impact and change towards conventions, that's mission accomplished.
Are you going to have your Pint Size Paintings stuff at the convention?
Yeah, at the Phoenix show, we showed the Volume 2 Pint Size Paintings Project at Hell City, Columbus. That's where we kind of like unveiled it there. Premiered it there, and right now it's actually hanging in the Mansfield Arts Center, which is a big arts center about an hour from here. The next stop is going to be for Hell City, Phoenix, so we're going to have the entire project on display there as well. It's also, right now, it's updated, so if you download the free iPhone app, the Pint Size Paintings app, it now encompasses both Volume 1 and Volume 2 on there. So, and then, you know, we want to take it to Off the Map.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so we want to, you know, kind of revisit some of the galleries, and I'm trying to figure out if I want to take it to like Italy and stuff too, and then maybe over to Japan with Ben-Hur, and, you know, kind of we want to travel a little bit more with it outside of the country as well.
How's the reception been at Mansfield, for instance, in an actual gallery as opposed to, you know, a very tattoo-centered thing?
Yeah.
How's the reception been?
It's been great, actually. I mean, the opening that we had there was, you know, really good amount of people, and we didn't just do the pint size things showing in the arts center there. We also encompassed other tattoo artists from Ohio to have paint. It's a huge art center, so you had the whole Pint Size Paintings that introed you into the gallery essentially, and then it spilled out into a bunch of tattoo artists' artwork. So we're trying to I guess combine it with some other art and stuff. But it had a great reception. I think a lot of people don't understand how a painting this small can be so impactful visually. A lot of people just think they can't believe that so many people are fitting so much artwork on like a little 2-inch by 3-inch panel. So it's a good eye opeper.
What led you to want to do tiny paintings?
It was it's funny because I was at the Detroit convention, and I was just in my booth, like I was painting like little square panels, and I brought a bunch of them with me, little brushes and stuff. And sometimes at conventions, if you're not tattooing, you want to do some other art forms. And I sat down and I was painting these little panels, and I think like Adrian Dominic came over and Muriel, and before I knew it, I invited all these people. I wasn't, at that point I wasn't like tattooing in a booth, so we just set up a table and a bunch of us just like gathered around the table. We started painting, and then actually amongst that group, we were like, this would be this is a lot of fun. Just look, we can all fit in here. We can all paint together. We're not asking people to do like giant paintings or anything, So just how fun that was with everybody, and kind of how it was, received with everybody right there. Just the idea. And once I get an idea, as you know, I I tend to overthink it and just saturate myself in that. So so when we started doing the project, it just took off, and I started posting some of the little paintings that I was doing at that time, and it sparked a lot of interest with people. So we got a great amount of feedback. The first project was bigger than the second project, as with any project. We had like over 400 paintings, and the second project we have over 300 paintings in that. So it's been a lot of fun.
It's cool. I like it. I checked it out in Columbus, and there's some amazing tiny paintings in there for sure. Yeah.
Did you get to see the first volume as well when we had it out?
I didn't see it in person. I've only seen it in book and app form.
Yeah. The book is really good. We haven't done the book yet with the second volume, so we're still kind of juggling that around. But right now it's about the Pint Size Paintings iPhone app being updated and kind of traveling with the art show.
So you've got your shop, Hell City, Pint Size Paintings, and True Tubes.
It's a lot.
How do you juggle all this?
Oh man, I juggle it very carefully. Everything that I do. I mean, I don't want to say like my life is time regulated, but it's definitely a careful balance to to do everything that I do. It's a constant grind, constant drive. You got to constantly stay motivated, take care of yourself while you're juggling all this stuff too, because it could easily consume you. And so I don't know. Before I got into Hell City or developing products or any of that stuff, I mean, I tattooed for a long time, before I got into that. So I kind of had this understanding of how the industry works, and how the artists work, and what we want and things like that. Juggling everything is literally it's taking care of yourself and those around you, because I couldn't do it all by myself. I have an amazing crew of people around me every day, helping me work, and kind of helping me just keep up with everything in general. At this point, Hell City is going so strong, and it's so well organized, and we've actually converted the business to just to be more fluent in general, rather than looking for files and all this stuff. It's a lot easier to run nowadays. And then you try to do the 2 conventions and your studio, and then the product is a whole different monster. Like True Tubes and True Grips are a whole different entity. It's grown into a really big business, but at first it was really difficult, man, getting True Tubes going. I had this idea to do the steel tip disposable products and the memory foam products that are disposable as well, but I didn't know anything about manufacturing. I didn't know anything really about product, because I hadn't dug into that. I knew that eventually I wanted to. Eventually it'll turn into a supply company and this and that. But when I first started doing True Tubes, I had a pretty rough experience, because I didn't know anything about manufacturing. I didn't know anything about steel milling or plastic injection molding or any of that stuff. So when I first got True Tubes going, I had a lot of, kind of like a lot of quality issues with some of the products just for a little while. But I mean,
Was it hard initially to keep a handle on consistency in products in the very beginning, with
very.
manufacturing being remote from where you are?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, unfortunately, we do manufacture in China. I have a great relationship with my manufacturers in China. But yeah, the whole language of manufacturing, I didn't know any of that. So it came to a point where I had to switch manufacturers after about 6 months of the product, and I also had to stop and educate myself a little bit more. As with anything that I do, if it's I think education is a huge part of anything that you do. So once I educated myself and I started looking into new manufacturers, I landed. I mean, I'm exactly where I wanted to be from day one. Now the quality is amazing, everything's perfect. But the real challenge with our product, especially when we started like True Tubes, the steel tip products, it was just the quality of steel milling. Essentially, getting somebody to make our tips, because tattooing is such a precise art form, and one of the most unforgiving art forms, is getting the steel tips steel milled perfect every time. So I went through a few companies. Just when I was switching manufacturers, I really got tons of samples to look at consistency, to look at language, to make sure my discussions were easier from where I started originally. So after that, yeah, the big challenge is the quality of the steel tips, which in my opinion, we have some of the best steel tips out there, and you get the luxury of them being disposable.
So now you've been at it for a while. You've been putting out a pretty consistent product for quite a long time now. Actually, you've started to add new stuff.
Yeah, True Grips, man. True Grips are going crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're compatible with any 1-inch tattoo grip, and I think it's what people were waiting for, something to kind of alleviate some of that hand discomfort from long sessions.
Replacing paper towel and tape wrap grips. And
yeah,
all that.
that's all stuff. I was looking at all that stuff and like, quit wrapping with paper towels, and try to develop a product that the tattoo artists can use that kind of substitute that, and a lot of people are like, I can't tattoo without them now, and with rotaries and then all that, like the Cheyennes and all those machines, like people can fit those on all those tubes, and it's just we've had a tremendous feedback with True Grips, enough to make us go with True Grip 2, which we developed, was the multi-level memory foam grip. We're working on True Grip 3, which is, I can't tell you, but it's top secret. But we're working on other new products as well.
You mentioned rotaries. There's been a huge growth in rotary use, I've noticed.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that? Are you a rotary user? Are you a coil user?
I'm a little of both, man. I'm a little old school, a little new school. Trying to stay new school. No, I like the rotaries, man. I work with a lot of Neotat machines. I still work with my coil machines here and there, but I do like the efficiency of rotary machines. I think that rotary machines at one point really tried to have a place within tattooing, like 15, 20 years ago, where it just never took off because of a lot of diehard, beliefs and theories.
Traditionalists.
Traditionalists,
Yeah, sure.
which I could be that somewhat too, but I'm always open to try new things. And once I tried a rotary, I think a lot of people will try something for a second. If it's not going their way,
they're going to go right back to what they're already comfortable with.
Fall back to what they're most comfortable with, and I don't think that's always a good situation, with anything that you do. So I think that if people, worked with the rotary machine a little bit longer than a couple tattoos, I find that it's a great way if I'm doing like a bigger tattoo and I want to pack some like nice solid big areas and stuff. It's it's beneficial. It's a beneficial tool. It's another tool in the arsenal, with tattooing. So
a machine like a Neotat, you could run it over and it would be fine. You run over your coil and it's going to be toast. So there are some benefits, with durability as well.
Yeah, I think with some of the rotaries too. Like, I mean, one of the things that people remember from getting tattoos, not only the, I guess, smells of green soap, but it's also like the sounds of the machines and stuff like that. But coil machines can also kind of, I don't know, with all due respect, I think rotary machines can put the client at ease a little bit more by not
because
hearing
it doesn't have that noise.
Yeah, so it's a
See,
little
to
bit.
me, it's a little strange to walk into a shop that's all Rotary, and you
Yeah.
don't hear that, and you're like, "What?
Yeah.
Where am I? Am I at a
Yeah.
am I getting a manicure or am I getting a tattoo?"
Yeah,
That's
it's
sound wise.
definitely a different age for tattoo studios because you might walk into the studio and it's completely quiet, as opposed to the old days where you hear a bunch of coil machines running. So I think there's still a place for both coil and rotary.
For sure.
And I don't really prefer one over the other. It depends on the job. What I'm doing.
What are your thoughts on some of the cartridge needles that have been coming out lately?
I think it's also, it's another new thing for tattooing. I think it's great. Actually, it's our the next product we're working on with True Tubes is the True Cartridge, and it's a disposable cartridge tube. And each tube you're going to have a drive bar, a plunger bar with it as well. So I think the cartridges are great. Actually, Gunner works with them here at our studio, and he loves it.
What are the advantages of a disposable cartridge tube as opposed to like your standard, like Hawk's got, their big aluminum one? What are the advantages?
Well, some of the aluminum ones, they're a little bit more expensive, just overall just to buy the one. But also, there's a theory going around about some of the tubes that people are kind of handling over and over again and just covering them with like a barrier film because they're attached to the machine or they only specifically work with that machine. As well as the drive bars that people are reusing the drive bars. There's a discussion going on about that, whether it's 100% sterile, should it be more disposable. So what we're trying to do with the True Cartridge is make everything disposable. So
you can eliminate any question whatsoever and don't even have to have any kind of not even an inkling of a worry about it.
Yeah, so it addresses that issue and that concern within the industry of reusing anything other than just your machine, in your power unit. So with each True Cartridge, you'll have the actual tube that comes with the drive bar, and they're both disposable. So everything's going to be disposable overall. And then you throw a True Grip on it, and you're good to go.
That was a good pitch, man.
Yeah, you liked it.
That was good. Well, hey, thanks for talking with me, and I will see you in Phoenix for sure.
Oh yeah.
You got any other travel plans? Are you doing any traveling? Do you ever go to anybody else's conventions?
You know what? I don't. I still do Detroit. I do conventions here and there. I don't have the opportunity to get out as much. And then traveling with a lot of the product and stuff like too is going to be a little bit more difficult. So yeah, I still do hit other shows. I mainly kind of stayed buckled down recently. But there's a lot going on with my life personally, with everything. Like my son turned 18. I'm actually going to be moving to Phoenix, Arizona here in August. So, yeah, big life change. I'm going to keep the studio here, and it's running, on its own. And all the guys here love working the studio. So the shop here, Red Tree in Ohio, pretty much runs itself. So I've been wanting to move to Phoenix for a long time, and I'm not getting any younger. I'm 41 years old now, so I've raised a son. I've done a lot in the city of Columbus here and in Ohio. Actually, the last thing I just did was legalize disposable tubes back in April, which was unbelievable. But here's the thing: within Ohio, because the wording of disposable tube or disposable tool or instrument wasn't written into the Ohio law, essentially the Board of Health said that we were all operating illegally because it wasn't an approved product.
That seems insane.
Yeah, exactly. It's absurd. So, but they knew it too. They knew that was safer than, a dirty sterilization room or the possibility of an apprentice scrubbing tubes that cross contaminates. There was all these things. So I got with some other piercers and tattooers here in town. We went from the city and actually got that added to the Ohio law April 18th. It went into effect. So now, I'm not political, but I do have political moves towards the art form I love, and I thought that was something that I needed to kind of spearhead as one of the senior artists in Ohio. And I mean, I have an invested interest in it somewhat.
For sure.
But
are you going to open a shop in Phoenix?
Yeah, that's the plan. I'm not going to do it probably right away when I get down there. I'm probably going to just focus more on like doing Hell City, and then I want to travel a little bit with my wife. I think we're going to go to Yellowstone and kind of unwind and enjoy things. But yeah, then I'm going to get back to work on Hell City for both years next year, or for both shows next year. and then start working on another for Red Tree Phoenix. And when I go do Red Tree Phoenix down there, I want the same formula that I have here, because I think it's just a simple, you know, formula that's relaxing. We're not a street shop. We're appointment only, consultation only studio, you know, and that allows everybody to focus just on the art, you know, without being bombarded, without people coming in. So when I go to Phoenix, we're going to incorporate what we've done here, as far as the classes and paint nights and flash days, and just kind of take this formula down there as well. And I'll give my guys here an opportunity to fly to Phoenix, you know, to be a part of that too, and get out of winter. So
Hey,
yeah.
You mentioned flash days. You just did a Sailor Jerry flash day yesterday.
Yeah,
right?
we just
I saw some of that stuff on Instagram.
Yeah, man, it was a lot of fun. You know, we originally did the Stony St. Clair Red Tree Flash Day like 6 or 8 months ago, and we wanted to bring it back. And since we have a relationship with Sailor Jerry, you know, with Hell City and all that, that we thought that was that's right. We thought that, you know, doing the Sailor Jerry Flash Day was a really good you know, next step with the Flash Days. And it was great. We had, I think we all did like 30 tattoos or something like that yesterday. And it gives people a chance. We open up our doors, they get to come in. I mean, the studio is, you know, really nice. We're still kind of cleaning up somewhat from Flash Day, but
Gives you a chance to kind of show the community what you're about.
yeah, exactly. Invite them in, and it gives us a chance, because we all do, you know, larger custom work, so it gives us a chance to kind of like just have fun, get back to the, you know, the brass roots of tattooing and stuff. So yeah, it went great. It was
Cool.
a lot of fun. But that's what we want to do in Phoenix as well. Kind of keep this formula down there. And it's a winning formula. It's fun.
That sounds awesome, man. So the Phoenix dates are what? August 15th, 17th?
Oh yeah, August 15th through the 17th. Yep. And we have stuff going on every day. Every day is unique within itself as far as entertainment, seminars, you know, a lot of different stuff going on. So yeah, people can go to hellcity.com. You'll be able to scroll. You'll be able to check out the attending artists, the scheduled events, seminars, book your rooms. You look at pretty much everything on there. So our website it's pretty expansive as far as a tattoo convention goes. So, but yeah, go to hellcity.com. You can see everything, or you can go to truetubes.com if you want to see more about the True Tubes and True Grips and the cartridge, and we have all that stuff up. We already have the information up for the cartridge tubes too. So if anybody wants to check out more about True Tubes or True Grips or the cartridge tubes that we're going to be coming out with, they can go to truetubes.com. And if you guys want to see any of the artists that work for me here, they're all amazing artists. We have Adam France, Gunner, Kevin Stress, Richard Cook, and then we have like my apprentice, Rusty. So you can see everybody actually on the website if you go to redtreetattoo.com, like a Japanese maple tree, redtreetattoo.com.
Cool. Well, hey, thanks for talking with me, Durb, and I'll see you in August.
All right, brother. I'll see you soon, man. All
Cool.
right, thanks. Bye.
Hi, my name is Gary Shepard. I'm one of the owners here at Addictive Nature Tattoo Studio. I met with one of the reps at the Pacific Ink and Art Expo out in Hawaii. That's when I actually got hooked up with a lot more of the product. I started using it, being able to actually notice more what it does during the tattoo procedure. We all have noticed the same thing, that the redness and the swelling goes out of the tattoo, that while you're doing color or white, the highlights and the colors actually are a lot brighter after the tattoo procedure. And basically we've all said the same thing, that it's a real good product to use during the tattoo procedure and after.